Have you ever looked at your cat and just felt like there's this whole other level of connection that you're just not quite reaching? Well, what if I told you that there is a specific sound, one that's actually rooted deep in their biology that could completely transform your bond and even turn your cat into your devoted protector? Let's get into it.
I know, it sounds like a pretty bold question, right? The idea that one simple vocal pattern could awaken this, dormant protective instinct in our cats. But what if the answer isn't just yes? What if it's the very sound your cat has been waiting to hear its entire life? So, this isn't about some kind of magic trick or a gimmick. Nope. The real key to unlocking this incredible bond is buried in evolutionary biology. It's all about understanding the science of how your cat truly experiences the world. And you know what? It all starts with their absolutely incredible sense of hearing. Okay, so if we're going to learn to speak our cat's language, we have to first step into their world. And trust me, their sensory world, especially when it comes to sound, is on a completely different planet than ours. I mean, just look at the sheer scale of this difference. We humans, we top out at around 20,000 hertz. Cats, they can hear all the way up to 64,000. Think about that. They're hearing an entire universe of high-pitched sounds that is completely silent to us. But it's not just what they hear, it's what they do with it. And this is where it gets really, really cool. Cats are absolute masters at interpreting something called prosody. See, they aren't just hearing your words, they're analyzing the music behind them, the rhythm, the emotional tone, the pitch. That's the language they're actually fluent in. So how do we use that? Well, researchers who were studying how cats communicate actually found a sort of sweet spot. They discovered that tones in this really specific frequency range, right here between 25 and 50 hertz, triggered the strongest, most positive responses in cats. But why that specific number? And here it is. This is the beautiful part. That frequency, 25 to 50 hertz, almost perfectly mimics the purr of a mother cat comforting her kittens. So from the second they're born, a cat's brain is literally hardwired to associate this exact sound with safety, with comfort, and with protection. You're basically tapping directly into their most primal, reassuring instinct. And look, this isn't just a nice theory. They actually studied this. A behavioral study on shelter cats had just stunning results. When new owners were taught this specific vocal technique, their cats showed a 67% increase in positive behaviors, like headbutting and staying close, and they had a 43% drop in stress behaviors. The data is crystal clear. This really, really works. All right, now for the part I'm sure you've been waiting for. We're going to break down the exact four-step method to create this protective bonding sound. But you know what? First, let's look at what most of us are probably doing wrong already. Okay, so let's talk about what not to do. First, that high-pitched baby talk voice we all do, it can actually signal alarm or stress to a cat. Second, being inconsistent. If there's no predictable pattern, it just confuses them. And finally, and this one is huge, bad timing. Trying this technique when your cat is already stressed out is just going to make things worse. Okay, let's build the bonding sound together step by step. First, you need a low, steady tone. Think about speaking from your chest, not your throat. Really try to drop your voice a little. That's what helps you hit that 25 to 50 hertz sweet spot. Second, it's all about a rhythmic cadence, which we'll get to in a sec. Third, use simple repetitive phrases. The actual words don't matter nearly as much as the consistent sound pattern. And finally, pair it all with soft, relaxed eye contact. Think slow blinks, not some intimidating stare down. Here's that rhythm in action. You want to speak for about 2 to 3 seconds, and then pause for a full second. It sounds like this. Good cat. You're safe here. That steady cadence is what mimics the way cats communicate with each other. It creates a predictable, safe pattern. It's really the space between the sounds that creates the music for them. So how do you put this all into practice? It's simple. Just 2 minutes a day. That's it. Find a quiet moment when your cat is already relaxed. Don't force it. Just sit near them, use the low voice, use that rhythm, and let them process it. The whole game here is patient, consistent repetition. But here's the thing. Using this sound, well, that's only half of the equation. To forge a truly unbreakable bond, we have to understand that this isn't just about getting your cat to protect you. It has to become a two-way street, a promise. Yeah. Researchers call this concept reciprocal protection, and honestly, it's a total game changer. Your cat is constantly watching you. They're assessing if you have their back. The bond only truly solidifies when they start to see you as their guardian, just as much as you're asking them to be yours. And you can prove this to them in really simple but incredibly powerful ways. Like when a stranger comes over and your cat seems nervous, physically place yourself between them. During a loud thunderstorm, start using that calm, rhythmic vocal pattern. And respect their safe spaces. Make sure their favorite napping spots are left alone. These small actions send a massive signal. I am your protector too.
So how will you know it's actually working? Well, your cat will start sending you some pretty clear signals. Let's take a look at the timeline of how this bond typically builds.
This happens in stages. In that first week, you're looking for subtle cues. Maybe they'll hold your gaze a little longer or just choose to rest a little closer to you. By weeks 2 and 3, you might start seeing more obvious protective actions, like following you from room to room or sitting like a little guard at the door. And by week 4 and beyond, that's when you're building real mutual trust. You'll see synchronized routines and maybe even clear interventions.
So let's highlight 3 of the biggest behaviors to watch for. First is sentinel positioning. That's when they intentionally rest in a spot where they can keep an eye on you and the doors. Second, intervention. This is amazing. They will literally place their body between you and a person or thing they see as a threat. And third, proximity seeking. This means when something uncertain happens, they move toward you for safety, not away from you.
And that really brings us to the heart of all this, doesn't it? This was never about training a pet to do a cool trick. It's about learning to speak your cat's native emotional language. It's about building a genuine, deep connection that's founded on real trust and communication. So in the end, what does this all mean? The sound itself isn't a magic bullet. The sound is an invitation. It's a promise that you're making to your cat, a promise of safety, of belonging, of mutual protection. And that might just be the one promise your cat has been waiting their entire life to finally hear.
Before you go, remember this. Your cat is doing something right now that most owners completely miss. At Feline Frontier, we don't just share cute cat facts. We uncover the hidden meanings, the quiet signals, and the strange behaviors your cat uses every single day to communicate with you. From the sounds that instantly calm a stressed cat, to the tiny habits that prove they trust you, to the mistakes that silently hurt them more than you realize. Everything here is designed to help you understand your cat on a deeper level. So if you've ever looked at your cat and thought, "What are you really trying to tell me?" You're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe to Feline Frontier, because the next video might explain something your cat has been waiting years for you to understand. See you in the next frontier of feline truth.